From Dallas to Los Angeles and a screen near you, here is B Wildcat 2.
Hey everybody, B Wildcat 2 here today to talk a little bit about the BCS scenarios and that kind of stuff. The footage you're watching is Andre Ware Heisman Challenge. This is live stream footage. We play him in the live stream. He's Texas A&M, the team he's on, is number 3 in the country after knocking off the LSU Tigers last week, who are number 4. A&M is still undefeated. The only teams ahead of A&M at this point are TCU, surprisingly, who's number 1, and Texas, who's number 2. All three of these Texas teams are undefeated to this point. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the BCS scenarios now. After Oregon and Kansas State lost last week, Oregon losing to Stanford and Kansas State losing to Baylor, real upset there. Notre Dame is now number 1. They control their own destiny. If they beat USC, they will most likely be going to the national championship. Well, no, scratch that, reverse it. If they win, they're definitely going to the national championship game because they do not have another game after that for them to play to lose besides the national championship, since they're the undefeated. And they're also an independent, so they don't have a championship game to worry about, like Alabama, who's number 2. Alabama has to beat Auburn this week, and then that would get them to the SEC championship game to most likely take on the Georgia Bulldogs, who are also a good team. If Alabama wins against Auburn and Georgia wins against Georgia Tech, which will probably happen, then Alabama and Georgia will take on each other in the SEC championship game, and the winner of that will most likely go on to face Notre Dame in the championship game. However, if Alabama loses, then Georgia will be the one. If Alabama loses to Auburn, then Georgia will be the one, even if Alabama knocks them off in the SEC championship game. I think either Georgia will, or Georgia will, or Florida will face off, I believe. Even if Georgia and Alabama both lose again, Kansas State and Oregon have to lose as well for Florida to be able to go to the national championship game. So most likely it's going to be Alabama, the winner of the Alabama-Georgia SEC championship that goes on to face Notre Dame in the national championship game. So for Florida to get to the championship game, they have to beat Florida State this week, which will probably not happen. Florida State's a very good team. Florida has to beat Florida State and then have to have multiple teams take a second loss, including Oregon and Kansas State. Alabama, Georgia, and Georgia, and Oregon, and Kansas State, they all have to lose this week just for Florida to go to the national championship game. So the odds are highly against Florida to get there. But Florida State, they have a chance to go. They have to beat Florida, which will most likely happen. Then they have to win the ACC championship game and have everybody else lose, including Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, and Kansas State. And then they have to dominate the ACC championship game in order, by a huge enough score to make the voters forget almost or overlook their loss to NC State and let them go to the national championship game. But right now, the this is probably the most likely outcome, is that the winner of the SEC championship game will go on to take on Notre Dame in the national championship game. But you never know. Last week we were talking about Kansas State and Oregon for the national championship game, and then they both lost last week, so you never know. It's all about what happens on the football field. It's not about what we can predict or anything. So leave your comments below on what you think is going to happen this BCS mix up, mix down, shaken up. We haven't seen the BCS this shaken, not stirred since 2007. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be talking to you guys again soon. I'm B Wildcat 2, and talk to you guys later.